As a young person, you might be worried about your future and don't know how to succeed in life. Today, I will give you my advice on how you could succeed in deen, dunya, and in your health. When it comes to deen, you could look at it in two ways. The first one is the easy part, and the second one is the hard part. When I say the easy part, I mean when it comes to the deen, for you personally, there are parts that you might find easy to do. For example, some people find it easy to wear the right hijab or to pray. Then if you find things like this easy, my advice is to hold tightly to those things and don't mess those things up or miss them, because once you start messing up the easy parts, then you would find it hard to come back to them once they are messed up. Secondly, there for you personally, you might find some part of the religion like harder to practice. Then my advice is to develop a system that will help you overcome your difficulties with those things. For example, if you find it hard to wake up in the morning to pray, you could work on developing a system to sleep earlier. So this way you could overcome your problem. Secondly, you need to find something that will motivate you when you fall back on your deen. For example, some people feel inspired when they listen to lectures, and other people, they feel inspired when they are around other people that are inspiring. So you need to find one thing that will help you feel inspired when you feel like you're not doing well. Thirdly, you need to work on learning the basics of the religion, because when you know the basics, it's going to motivate you to work harder on your deen, because you know the important part of your religion. And lastly, friendship matters. The type of friends that you have will help you in deen, or they might lead you astray. So you have to pick your friends wisely. When it comes to dunya, the first thing I will talk about money. When it comes to money, there are two ways that you could make money. The first one is starting your own business, and the other one is like choosing the traditional path of having traditional career. You need to decide which one you're going to pick. My advice is to pick the business side, because it would allow you to have more flexibility in your life. But when you do that, you need to first find your passion, like what do you want to do. And finding your passion is not easy. You have to search deeply inside of you, and you have to listen to podcasts and read books, and you need to listen to people's stories, because when you listen to people's stories, they're gonna tell you how they discovered their passion, and you could follow what they did to also discover your own passion. And also you need to find a way to discover what you like. And thirdly, your location matters. What I mean by that is sometimes the place you live in might not be the place where you will be successful. So some people, they like moving to richer countries because they have better opportunities there. But other people, they like moving to poor countries because over there your lifestyle is cheaper, and in those countries the people have a lot of problems. So you could get ideas to open different businesses and become successful there, because it's easier to set up businesses. So when it comes to your location, You could become successful in the place you live in right now, or sometimes you might need to move to like richer countries, or you might need to move to like poor countries to live like a cheaper lifestyle. So you need to also consider your location. At the same time, like when you make money, you also need to work on your self-development. And for that, you need to know how to stay productive. And like, for example, you have to like track your habits and find ways to stay like productive. It's gonna take a long time for you to discover what works for you, but you have to keep trying to see which routine works for you. And at the same time, you have to educate yourself. Like when you go to school, you get general education, but no one knows your interest more than you. So you have to know your own interest, and based on that, you have to educate yourself. And if you become interested in a certain topic or a certain business idea, you have to educate yourself on that. Self-education is important. At the same time, you have to learn how to be creative. You have to keep your creativity alive. For that, you have to find out what makes you like, what sparks your creativity. For example, when I look at like house tour videos, that makes me feel creative because like when you look at house tour videos, it shows you the different creative ways that people organize their homes, and that just gives me ideas on like other parts of my life. So just like that, you need to find like what sparks your creativity, because your creativity gives you new ideas, and having new ideas is important to be successful. And you have to also learn how to be a leader. What I mean by that is like whenever you see a problem, you shouldn't complain about it. You should try to solve the problem, because if everyone complains, the problem doesn't get solved. So you have to like take care of the problem and instead of like complaining. And when you do that, that makes you a leader. And you also have to know finance. Like you have to know how to properly use money, because if you work hard but you don't use your money properly, then it becomes pointless. So you have to learn how to properly manage your finances. It's also important to be good in time management, because when you become older, you will become busier. So when you are young, you should know how to manage your time, so as you get older, you would already know how to fix your life. And it's also important to keep learning about yourself, what you like, what you don't like. You should know like a lot about yourself, so that way you would know how to fix your bad parts, and how to like you would find out your weaknesses or strengths. And that's important, because you would know which part of yourself you need to work on and which part you should keep. And lastly, when it comes to your health, you have to learn emotional regulation. Like if you have anger problems, you need to solve that. And you need to know how to like manage your sadness and your emotions, because when you are in control of your emotion, other people are not going to like get into you, or like you're not gonna be easily angered. And a lot of young people, they suffer from like depression and mental health. If you have like severe cases or in general, you should first talk to professionals. But most young people, they're not having like severe cases, like they just like having some emotional problems. So my advice is you shouldn't lose hope, and you have to know that the difficulties that you're facing now, they're not gonna last forever. And it's kind of normal when you're young that you might like kind of feel depressed, but you have to know that your problem is not gonna last. Like today I listened to a podcast, and the person, he was saying in 3 months your problem is not gonna be there, like you're not gonna remember it. So every time you get sad, you have to know that in 3 months you're gonna forget about it. So you shouldn't lose hope. And other ways you could take care of your mental health is by sleeping well and by eating balanced diets. Because in another podcast I heard that whatever food you eat, it affects your brain. So like some depression and stuff like that, it might be related to the food you eat. So eating healthy would help you have better mental health, and it might help you with your depression. And the other thing is you should have a hobby because it will keep you occupied. And when you're occupied, you will be less likely to feel sad and stuff like that. And when you work on your emotions, you could like journal, and you could use a mood tracker so to know like how you feel. And writing about your emotion can help you identify your problems. So when you work on your emotion and mental health and physical health, it's gonna help you become successful in deen, dunya, and in everything. So you have to take care of your health, and that is very important.